It's a Saturday morning in a crowded gym. The energy is high. Youthful exuberance fills the air. A group of young athletes are practicing their skills, eager to show off their strength and precision. They're brimming with confidence, unaware that today will be different. The camera pans across the gym, catching flashes of young men and women, some barely out of their teens, moving through their drills with an arrogance that comes with knowing you're on top. The gym is alive with chatter, the sharp sounds of feet hitting the mat, and the occasional burst of laughter. But then, the camera zooms in on a lone figure standing quietly by the wall. This man is different. He's old, almost out of place among the youthful energy of the gym. He wears a simple plaid shirt, jeans, and boots that look well worn by years of use. His hair is a mix of gray and white, neatly combed, but there's something about him that commands attention, not because of his appearance, but because of how still and calm he is. He seems like he doesn't belong, like he's from another time. One of the young athletes, full of energy and arrogance, notices him. Ryan Bricks, a 23-year-old with a fresh black belt and a perfect uniform, decides to make fun of the old man. "Hey, Grandpa," Ryan calls out with a sneer, "you want to show us how it's done? Maybe teach us a thing or two?" His friends chuckle, expecting the old man to retreat or laugh it off. But the silence that follows is unsettling. The older man doesn't flinch. He simply gives a small nod, his hands folded in front of him. His eyes, though, remain steady, calm. He doesn't need to speak. His silence says everything. But the young man isn't done. "Well, come on, old man. Show us some moves. I'm sure you've got something to teach us," Ryan taunts, expecting to provoke some sort of reaction. The room falls into an awkward silence. The challenge has been set. As Ryan steps forward, there's a subtle shift in the atmosphere. The room seems to hold its breath. Even the other young athletes who had been laughing just moments ago stop. They don't know why, but they sense something they don't understand. The old man hasn't moved. He doesn't seem offended, nor does he seem upset. He's just there. His eyes lock on Ryan's for a brief moment, but there's no anger, no hint of challenge. He stands motionless, like a rock that has weathered storms for centuries. Ryan shrugs and laughs, clearly trying to maintain his bravado. "Oh, come on! You don't think I can handle you, do you?" He circles the man like a predator eyeing his prey. The young athletes exchange looks, wondering what's going to happen next. They're waiting for the punchline, expecting this old man to crack, to back down. But he doesn't. Instead, he makes the smallest of movements, a slight shift of weight from one foot to the other. The sound of his boots making a soft click on the floor is the only noise that breaks the silence. But it's enough to make the room feel heavier. Ryan, who had been so confident, pauses for a moment. He expected a reaction, anything to mock. But there's only stillness. The man's posture is impeccable. His eyes remain steady, unwavering. Then, with a calm that could unsettle the bravest of men, the old man speaks, his voice low and controlled. "You don't need to prove anything." It's a simple statement, but it carries a weight none of them expected. The room feels different now. The young athletes no longer feel like they're in control. Their laughter fades, and in its place is an uneasy silence. Ryan, still not convinced, moves in closer, his arrogance now masking a hint of uncertainty. "Let's see it then, old man. Teach me something." He moves in a defensive stance, expecting an easy win. But the older man doesn't move to fight. He simply observes, his eyes tracking every subtle shift in Ryan's body. It's not about a flashy display of strength. It's about something much deeper. Experience. Ryan rushes forward with a move he's practiced 1,000 times. It's a textbook technique, fast and efficient. But when he reaches the old man, something unexpected happens. In a single, smooth motion, the older man steps aside, barely lifting a finger, and Ryan is suddenly off balance. In the blink of an eye, Ryan is on the floor, his pride and confidence shattered. The room goes silent again. Ryan stumbles to his feet, his face flushed with embarrassment. He can't believe it. He had expected to show off, to humiliate the old man, but now he's the one who's humiliated. The other athletes are in shock, looking back and forth between the old man and Ryan. They're beginning to understand that this is not a game. The old man doesn't say a word. He just watches, his eyes calm, his posture unwavering. Ryan stands up, breathing heavily, but something in the air has changed. The challenge was never about strength. It was about something much deeper: wisdom, experience, and the ability to control one's presence. Just as the tension starts to dissipate, one of the older men in the gym, a retired military officer named Harold, speaks up. His voice trembles with recognition, his eyes wide with awe. "That's your character's name," Harold says. "He was a commander in conflict. The stories about him, he was the one they called when no one else could do the job. You think you've seen strength, but you don't understand what true power looks like until you've seen him in action." The revelation is like a bombshell. The young athletes, who had been mocking him moments before, suddenly realize they've been in the presence of someone extraordinary, someone who has lived a life they couldn't even begin to comprehend. Ryan, now standing with a mixture of embarrassment and awe, lowers his head. "I didn't know," he says, his voice barely audible. The old man doesn't respond. His silence speaks volumes, and it's clear that he doesn't need to say anything. The lesson has been taught, not through force, but through presence. The next day, the gym feels different. The young athletes are quieter, more focused. They no longer wear the same cocky expressions. Ryan is the first to arrive, cleaning the gym floor, showing a newfound respect for the space and the people in it. No one dares to make fun of the old man anymore. There's a quiet reverence that wasn't there before. The old man's lesson wasn't just about martial arts. It was about humility, respect, and understanding that true power doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. It simply is. As the old man leaves the gym, his presence lingers. It's almost like a shadow, a silent reminder that there are things far greater than arrogance and pride. The younger generation watches him leave, a mixture of awe and respect in their eyes. They now understand that strength doesn't always show in the loudest voice. Sometimes it's in the quietest, most still moments. In the end, it's clear. This story wasn't just about an old man who knew martial arts. It was about the lessons passed down through silence, experience, and quiet strength. The young athletes who were once full of themselves now carry with them the reminder that some things in life can't be measured by age or appearance. And as for the old man, he doesn't need to prove anything. He simply lives his truth, leaving a lasting impression on all who encounter him. The gym is never the same again, and neither are the young athletes. They learned that the true strength of a person doesn't lie in how loudly they fight, but in how deeply they can impact the world around them.